Good morning. How's everybody doing? I'm just kidding. You just got the notification. Nobody knows. Be live and alive. Cool. All right. Well, let's do what we usually do. Get started with the crossword here. We got a lot of videos to watch. This is what this stream is for now. Until the midterms, I guess. It's kind of watch the right wing fracture. Have a lot of fun. All right. So, less risky, safer. Tots 3-wheel or trike. Comic actor Seth Rogen? Rogan? Maybe. The Strip. Golfing standard par. Aroma. It is Rogan. Oh, ekes out a living. Alright, let's see. Region. Area, probably. Bitter smelling. Acrid, is that? I did not know that was the actual definition of acrid. Intel product, probably a chip. Makes unfair. Rigs. Rhino. I don't know what a nickname for Dorothy would be. Figure 8. But I don't know. Oh, 8 figures, I guess? Well, circle, cone, cube, cylinder, heart, pentagon, star, triangle. Yeah, I guess that is. Inherits. Mental slip-up would be a lapse. Legally Blonde protagonist. Elle Woods. Can't forget that one. Many a prom tuxedo, a rental, amazement, awe. Oh, Jesus. Airheads. Oh my god, dots. Okay, so candies. I must say, sweet, probably 16. That would be the natural pun there. Lumberjack's tool is an axe. Train track part is a rail. School with a T station. What? A T station? MIT maybe? University degrees for executive, probably MBAs. Cincinnati teams, the Reds. Home to Hanoi and King Kong. What? Oh, just Asia? Okay, sure. So-so in modern slang, yeah, I believe the kids would call that mid. Application is a use. Cell signal unit is a bar. Bumblebee. Do bumblebees? I might be stupid. Girlfriend or boyfriend. Bay, probably. Ping pong dividers, nets. Sunrise direction, east. Nuisance, pest. Paleo or pedo. Sorry, the Jeffrey Epstein stuff's been on the mind. Paleo. Or diet, strongly desires. For surezies, deaf. I believe that is the lingo. Skeptic's remark. I'm not sure. Letters before and on that farm, E-I-E-I-O. The T of trans. Irate. Platoon VAP. Sarge. Cooks just the outside of Sears. Giving the go-ahead of Bill Clinton. Sorry, I meant, okay. Centurion, I'm assuming this means over 100 years old. So it'd be old. Skee ball. Fucking love skee ball. Not sharp as a pencil. Blunt? It isn't that simple. Yeah, that's nice. Oh my god. Hello, typing. Dermatologist focus would be your skin. with everything on the line. I don't know. ACLU. All in. Sorry, that would make sense. Jackson 5. Andrew Jackson, Ketanji Brown Jackson. That one's clever. I'll give you that one. Soul, Marsh Plants, Reeds, the King of Rock and Roll, Elvis. Vulgar, no clue, like a pyramid or a sphere. Solid. Foreign Policy Group, no, actually, it's not the NSA, is it? If ever, maybe. Bottle served at a Trattoria, maybe a Pinot. I have no idea. Pines 4, Vulgar, Crass, Great Basin. I'm gonna go with. Not 100% sure, but that sounds like a place that would exist. Oh, Vino. That Boot Good Loom Moon Pool 007. That's okay. I like this one. This crossword I'm a fan of. Home of 500, the Indy 500. Object of adoration would be an idol. Femur and fibula site, your leg. Yoko Ono. Play-Doh. Groundhog for Puxatawny Phil. Narcissus has a big one. An ego. Gruesome. No clue. Like most cheeses with rinds, aged. Growth in a fish tank, algae. Nike swoosh is a logo. Oh my god, what a what a goddamn speed run that was. We haven't even been streaming for 10 minutes. I know it's the Monday. Whatever. Alright, let me have this, okay? Jeez. Alright, let's do Scrandle. I mean, this is cheaper. This looks better. This doesn't look like puke. Like, who would ever... okay, so... I fucked up. Okay. That's that's too much onion. Yeah, okay, thank God. That doesn't look like great. Chips and cheese, bro. What is with the UK and this? Like, here's a slice of cheese on some unsalted fries. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, what? How is that close? That's ridiculous. Surely. Okay. Cheeseburger flavor pie versus Bovril with a Mars bar. Okay. All right. Okay. Thing Japan. No. That heuristic just does not work anymore. What? he was presented with a fish. That looks fucking disgusting. 5 sugar donuts versus fish and chips. All right, let's be real here. Fish and chips is going to be better. Yeah. I mean, that's a little sad. Surely the double bacon cheeseburger, right? but that does look good. I mean, I can't. I'm trying to look. I don't see a single thing of salt here, or ketchup, or anything. Right? How? How? No way. Nuh-uh. I don't believe it for a goddamn second. What is this? Walnuts, mint. This might be like Turkey or India. No, North. This is Kazakhstan. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Never mind. This is from a lot of places. Ooh. That's alright. This looks okay. The first picture didn't do whatever this is justice. Honestly, I feel like this is either Germany or Poland. I'm gonna go with Poland first. No, this is Spain. Oh, France? Yeah, always France. Glutinous rice flour. I have. How are these two pictures connected? This is just log. Until lightly brown separately, coconut milk and sugar are boiled together, then mixed with toasted rice flour to form a dough. It's shaped into logs and rolls. So it's just a log of rice flour. Let's go. Okay. Oh my god, okay. Where are the other places? Is this in like Australia or New Zealand? Or no, this would be Papua New Guinea, would it? Which one have I? Okay, Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia. It's north of Malaysia, north of Indonesia, north of Thailand. Is this like Vietnam or something? Or no, the Philippines. Fuck. Okay. Whoa, we were well below average there. Whoopsies. What? What? Portable soup. I mean, it was just like bouillon or whatever. Uh, it's, it's just crazy to hear portable soup. Um, Rosewater lime juiced. Uh, I mean, if I, yeah, okay. Just all right. Yeah. Too wet. Yep. That's the only heuristic that works. Again, this is gonna win because this is too wet. Ah, shit. My cock versus the hawk. Okay, sorry. Uh, fermenting crushed freshwater fish, boiled chicken. Yeah, I think as disgusting as boiled chicken is, ooh, I mean, this has got to have it. Yeah, those both look phenomenal. Oh, no, thank you. Let's bean jar. What's this? Made with a blend of shrimp, fish, or chicken. I mean, that sounds pretty good. A dish involves browning meat, but this is thing Japan. Yep. Okay, maybe. Ooh. Ooh, because this was not very well liked. This. What is in it? Oh, it's mixed in sliced hot. So. Okay. Okay. Crisp bread, millet port. Right? Yeah, okay. Bread. Flying Jacob versus cacao. Cow? I don't know. This looks okay. All right, why not? I don't know anything anymore. Oh well. All right. I'm gonna leave the dull section there probably. I wanna get to the stuff and play some Balatro. All right. How's that? Marvel Rivals. Oh my god. Let's see where this is at.
Shut down. Where so many.
Yeah, I'm good. All right. We've got a press gaggle. Let me just run Balatro real quick. Okay. What the hell? You chill? Okay, why? Okay, will you not minimize? Thank you very much. Okay, that was bizarre. There we go. Alright.
Okay,
let's see what this fella has to say.
From an economic standpoint, our prices are coming down very substantially on groceries and things. They're already at a much lower level than they were with the last administration.
Again, like there's no substantiation for this. There's a couple groceries that are down, but you'll see that grocery prices on breakfast items have dropped 14% in the last 6 months. So from March, which is also during his presidency, to September during his presidency. Now, let's see. Breakfast items price level. It's 2025. Let's see. Table 2. This is CPI. Cereal. Wait. Damn it. They used to have a little graph that you could click. What the hell? Come on. So what falls under... Let's just go cereals and cereal products. Price change from August to September, it's down a little bit, but seasonally adjusted, it's up. Can I get cereals and bakery cereals? So it seems like cereals are there we go. Good old Fred. Wait, what are they even basing this off of? Because, I mean, they're flat, and they were flat for a while. Huh? So, what else? CPI rises. Okay, nice. What are they talking about? What? Okay, sure, why not? Okay. Oh, nice. For this one, we can select by item. Select items. Let's go milk. It's been kind of rising. Let's see. Oh, gee. Okay. Bread, eggs, milk. General trend. Jesus, eggs are going crazy. But milk is going up. Bread is going down. All right, but it's been going down since Biden, so just saying. Oh, and oranges. It's going up. Seems a bit seasonal, obviously. That would make sense. Interesting. Okay. Again, if you have to cite something, I suppose cite the most hyper-specific data that you can to make yourself look good.
And we worked on it this weekend, and you're going to see some of the items that were a little bit higher. They were lower than the last administration, but a little bit higher. We're going to have some little price reductions.
I'm not sure when that was ever true, except maybe eggs.
Some pretty good ones. They use the affordability word. The affordability is much, much better with this. And again, I go to Walmart and other companies, and in every case...
Okay. Do I need to tell you why the Walmart thing is stupid? That's not a condemnation of you all. That's just... Again, there's less items in the basket. They're great value brand rather than name brand, because Walmart is recognizing that there's an affordability crisis. So it's I don't know what he expects his people to believe, but
it's about 25% that a meal, a Thanksgiving meal and surroundings are 25% lower than it was under the Biden administration. That's a big fact, and that comes from Walmart and others that do that. Okay? Any questions?
Any update on Venezuela, Mr. President? On Venezuela, update?
No update on Venezuela.
The designation of that cartel associated with Maduro, does that mean that the U.S. government can target Maduro's assets or infrastructure inside Venezuela?
It allows us to do that, but we haven't said we're going to do that. And we may be having some discussions with Maduro. And
so what is our plan with Venezuela? Are we invading? Are we making deals? Because I saw a thing. Now this is just, again, source. I saw a thing. Okay, so take it with 1,000,000 pounds of salt. But that Maduro offered a percentage of the entire country's oil reserves, and now they're halting some of it. It's a thing I saw, unverified. I'm just curious if anyone has
we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
Mr. President, Representative Massey says he's concerned that the Epstein probe you are calling for could be a smokescreen.
Uh-oh.
Block the release of more files. Is that the case?
Well, I don't want to talk about it because fake news like you're a terrible reporter, and fake news like you, they just...
Hey, Mr. Trump, what do you have to say about your Republican colleagues kind of worried about your moves potentially covering up, a pedophile? You're a terrible reporter. I hate you. You suck. That's not a response. Don,
keep bringing that up to deflect from...
Keep bringing that up. Yeah, again. As we should be doing, we are very curious to see, did our president do the dirty with a child? That's kind of a matter of public importance.
From the tremendous success of the Trump administration. So a guy like Massey, his poll numbers are showing he's at 6% approval rating right now.
What?
And,
I'm going to
we
fact
call him
check that
Rand
one
Paul
off
Jr.
screen.
He never votes for the Republican Party. So they're using Jeffrey Epstein as a deflection from the tremendous success that we're having as a party.
Mr. President, on Venezuela, you said they want to talk. You said Venezuela wants to talk. What does that mean?
Venezuela would like to talk. What does it mean? You tell me. I don't know.
You want to talk to them?
I talk to anybody. I talk to you.
Apparently, he does have a pretty pretty low popularity according to YouGov. But I don't know. I mean, his likes and dislikes are really neutral. Okay, I'm trying to find a Thomas Massey approval rating. Come on. Do we have any polling on this outside of YouGov's popularity polling? And I don't think that's approval rating. And only 14% of people dislike him. So I don't think that implies that 86% of people like him, but maybe? I just, the 6% number doesn't come from fucking anywhere. Just at a cursory glance.
Right? I talk to anybody. We'll see what happens.
Green says her life could be in danger because of the rhetoric.
Her life is in danger.
Yeah, okay, so Marjorie Taylor Greene said that her life may be put in an interview that we'll watch later, that her life may be put in danger due to Trump's rhetoric targeting her and having some negative outcomes in the past. She's received death threats, apparently.
Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, he says.
Marjorie Trader Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. I don't think.
Oh, glad you
I
don't.
don't think anybody cares about her. Okay, what
On
about?
affordability of health
Jesus.
Are you negotiating with lawmakers
What the
on health care
fuck?
ahead
This
of
guy.
I am. We're negotiating with lawmakers, and I've had personal talks with some Democrats. I can't tell you who they are.
Probably John Fetterman and Fetterman only.
I just don't want to do that. It's not fair to them. About paying large amounts of dollars back to the people. You know, this was my idea. It came up during that. You know, oftentimes in under times of stress, like the shutdown, you come up with great ideas that you wouldn't have thought of before.
Like removing all of the negotiating power from the government by having people negotiate on their own. What do you think the point of collective bargaining is? Okay, sure, why not? Oh my god, I totally did that in the wrong order.
The insurance companies are making a fortune. Their stock is up over 1,000% over a short period of time. They are taking in hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're not really putting it back, certainly not like they should. So when I see this, and when I've seen this over the last pretty short period of time, I said, why do we just pay this money directly to the people of our country and let them buy their own health insurance?
Because it's better to negotiate with insurance as a monolith. Like, we understand Porter's 5 forces, right? Buyer power, or consumer power, that's one of them. So now you're putting all the power back in the supplier, so you're going to get worse deals.
And you know, I made that statement, and I made it a little bit cavalierly, but it sounded good. And everybody has picked up, including Democrats. And I am talking to some Democrats right now about doing that. People love it. We're going to take the money, well, if it gets approved, we're going to take the money, we're going to pay it back to the people of our country to go out and buy health insurance. Now, they can put it in a health account. We can do it a lot of different ways. But they...
Okay, if you give people a check, I would be... Look, I love this country, I love the people in it. I don't have faith that most of that money would go towards health accounts. This is the greatest country in the world, and I would die for it. I don't know if our saving habits are that great.
They buy their own health insurance. They can negotiate price, and it's going to be locked, so they can't go out and buy a Cadillac. They can go out and buy health insurance.
Tucker Carlson.
Okay, never mind.
Is it time for Congress to move legislation that puts pressure on Russia and puts pressure on Putin?
Well, I hear they're doing that, and that's okay with me. They're passing legislation, or the Republicans are putting in legislation that very tough. It's sanctioning, et cetera, on any country doing business with Russia. They may add Iran to that, as you know. I suggested it. So any country that does business with Russia will be very severely sanctioned.
That'd be cool.
We may add Iran to the formula, yeah.
Mr. President, Tucker Carlson recently had a friendly interview with...
That'd be nice if they did that. I guess he's turning on Putin again. Nice, I guess.
Anti-Semite Nick Fuentes.
That's okay. Yeah.
What role do you think Tucker Carlson should play in the Republican Party and the conservative movement going forward?
Well, I found him to be good. I mean, he said good things about me over the years.
Right, that's the bar.
I think he's good. We've had some good interviews. I did an interview with him. We had 300 million hits. You know that. Look, I can't tell him.
Should he be...
Will you let me finish my statement? You are the worst. You're with Bloomberg, right? You are the worst. I don't know why they even have you.
She was asking about the second part of that question. Yo, chill, man.
We've had some great interviews with Tucker Carlson, but you can't tell him who to interview. I mean, if he wants to interview Nick Fuentes, I don't know much about him, but if he wants to do it, get the word out. Let him, people have to decide. Ultimately, people have to decide. The mayor of New York, I will say, would like to meet with us, and we'll work something out. But he would like to come to Washington and meet, and we'll work something out. We want to see everything work out well for New York.
You yourself had dinner with Nick Fuentes at Mar-a-Lago a few years ago. What role should he play in the conservative movement?
Well, I didn't know he was coming, and he was with, as you know, somebody, Kanye. And Kanye asked if he could have dinner, and he brought Nick. I didn't know Nick at the time. And he did. He came, and along with a few other people. He brought a few people with him.
And
Meeting people, talking to people, like for somebody like Tucker, that's what they do. People are controversial. Some are, some.
wow, he is really dancing around taking a stance on that. I mean, obviously, right? Like, he wants to have both ends of MAGA, right? Like, the tech bro economic growth, while also having the hyper-isolationist, America only type thing. But those two views, I think, as he's realizing, or at least butting up against, aren't really reconcilable. Like he is right. You do have to have some foreign labor in the U.S., but that goes against one half of it. And the immigration policy he has is going against the other tech bro half. Like, he's in a tough spot. I really feel bad. I'm kidding.
I'm not controversial, so I like it that way.
Venezuela, are you
Damn, that didn't land at all.
I'd like to keep Congress involved. I mean, we're stopping drug dealers and drugs from coming into our country. And I actually told Marco and some of the people, our Secretary of State is doing a great job, by the way. I said, go to Congress and let them know we're not letting drugs come through Mexico. We're not letting them come through Venezuela. And let Congress know about it. We don't have to get their approval, but I think letting them know is good. The only thing I don't want them to do is leak information that's very important and confidential.
Do I even need to make the joke? Like, it's not Congress that you need to be worried about. It's your boy Pete fucking Hegseth. Leaky Pete. That's what we call him, Leaky Pete.
And may put our military at risk, or whoever is doing, CIA, military, etc. But I did say, I said, go and see Congress, see the representatives that we're supposed to be seeing, and be open about it. If they say, we don't want you to stop drugs from coming into the country, I don't think that would be good, yes.
Are any other countries committed to helping the U.S. with Venezuela, or is all our actions still...
Yeah, we have great support because it's all about drugs. Well, in Venezuela's case, it's about drugs, and it's also about thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that they've released into our country. And some are gang members from Tren de Aragua, some are many are drug dealers, some are murderers. So in the case of Venezuela, it's about the prison population. Their almost entire prison population was released into the United States. You know what that means? Their prison population was released into the United States. And we're getting it out. We're doing an amazing job. We have a strong border now. We have everything. Our country's doing so well. But what the Biden administration did to our country should never be forgotten. And the single worst thing they did is allow 20 or 25 million people to pour in.
I don't know how many new arrivals there were under Biden. I'll look that up off screen, but I think the estimate is there was, or is, 13 million. Some of those people have been here for decades. I guess we do need to do a whole breakdown on immigration again. For those who don't know, the first few months of the stream was all immigration policy. yeah, it's just that's a big can of worms to crack open again.
Into our country. People from prisons, drug dealers, mental institutions, bad people, gang members, to allow that to happen to the United States, totally unchecked and unvetted, should never be forgotten.
Bull,
what they've done to our
obviously,
country is a very big thing. But we are correcting it. We have strong borders now. We have a great economy. The prices are coming down. The Democrats like to use the word affordability.
Isn't that what, like, the main reason people voted for you was? You were claiming the tariffs were gonna help, like... it's just so chungus, man.
But their affordability was terrible. The problem with the Democrats, they lie. They do it so well. They talk about affordability. But I'm the one that's getting the prices down. As an example, they had the highest inflation in the history of our country.
That
is
is
down now to a normal level, and it's going down further. Thank you very
so again, presidents kind of fall into things, right? Biden fell into COVID, and that sucks. Presidents can make adjustments around the edges, all right? So if the general trend is going like this, the president can move within a certain margin around there. We're in a recovery trend right now, and Trump is making that as difficult and bad as possible. As far as COVID was, it was always going to be bad. I would say that Biden did a pretty good job navigating it, all things considered. Inflation came down faster rather than anywhere in the Western world. Like, we did pretty good. Prices were stable by the end. Yeah, we had investment. We had things opening up. It's a shame he didn't get to ride out the trends, and this guy gets to come in and do his best to undo everything, which is crazy, but, you know. Credit to Biden for getting us through that. I don't fucking want to know what Trump would have done faced with those decisions.
very much, everybody.
Alright, well, that's Gaggle 1. We got Scott Bessent here. Ugh. We'll watch that later. Here's Gaggle 2.
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, you know, that is Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people that he spent time with. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years.
Yeah, but he had a very good relationship for another part of that. Like, his Truth Social, we'll go through this because it's always a good time on Truth Social. I got my sleeper account here. Where's the thing he was talking about? The Republicans, they need to release the files. It's about time. Okay, yeah. He's saying that the Republicans should release the Epstein files. He realized he couldn't block it. He put pressure on Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Massey. He tried. He really tried to stop it. Don't let this cover-up fool you. He really tried to stop these files from releasing, and now he sees the bandwagons going the other way, so he's trying to hop on it. Please, for the love of God, do not let people buy this shit.
But he also saw Skype.
Hold on, just quick mic check. Testing. Sorry, just... Sometimes it goes out.
You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan shares. Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead.
Incriminating in the file, sir. Why are you using his
Quiet.
Oh my god. Dude, it's every time a reporter is asking the questions people actually want the answer to, he says quiet. And then people will just clap along like this is the funniest thing ever. Oh, you got the fake news, Trump. Like,
Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings on Venezuela. I know you can't tell us what your next steps will be, but can you say, have you made up your mind on what you'd like to do for, as far as action for
I sort
Venezuela?
of have made up my mind.
You have.
I mean, I can't tell you what it would be, but I sort of made up my mind.
What do you say to some of your supporters who might not be excited about another foreign campaign?
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I can't tell you what it is, but we made a lot of progress with Venezuela in terms of stopping drugs from pouring in. But we have a Mexico problem. We have a Colombia problem. Meaning Colombia, the country.
I think we figured. But
Well, we're doing very well. Drugs coming into our country are greatly slowed, as you can imagine.
On the tariff sir, does this signal a change on your message for affordability?
Well, I just want to bring down some of the foods. Look, for the most part, the foods, when we cut back a little bit of those tariffs, we'll get the price down. But they're not competitive in this country. Like tomatoes and bananas and things, we don't make them in this country. So there's no protection of our industries or our food products. So what we're going to do is we cut back, we see prices come down even lower. You have to understand, we've all suffered from the Biden prices, which were much higher than they are right now.
they're really nothing like, well, not nothing, but very few items have actually come down. Like the CPI has been rising pretty steadily. CPI change chart, monthly. I think Fred has this. I don't know. Wait, hold on. So I'm getting. I mean, so here's just so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. Here's CPI. If we do 5 years, like it's rising. But again, it's about the percentage change. If it's not rising too dramatically, then this is actually fine. It just depends. I mean, just eyeballing it, we can look at the slope here and the slope here, and it looks to be more sharp. But I'll try and find the relative levels rather than the. I mean, yeah.
But I'll be able to get them down even lower, or at least a little bit lower, possibly in some cases a lot lower.
More rollbacks in the future with your tariff policies? Will there be more rollbacks in the future when you change anything else with tariffs?
I don't think it'll be necessary. We just did a little bit of a rollback on some foods, like coffee, as an example, where the prices of coffee are a little bit high now. They'll be on the low side in a very short period of time. We're very good at this. The problem is we inherited a country when we took over January 20th where the prices were through the roof. So they were up 30, 40, 50%. If we got them down 30%, that means they're still higher than where they were. We had a great 4 years, and I think this is going to be even much better. And in terms of affordability, it's not a good word for the Democrats. It's a good word for us because our prices are much lower and will soon be much, much lower than they were under the Democrats.
Mr. President, my newspaper, The Telegraph, has led the way in
Are
exposure.
you the Telegraph?
That's right.
Oh, what a job you did. What a job you did.
We led
Are
the
you
way.
proud of yourselves?
We've had a good
How
couple
did
of
we
weeks.
catch BBC like that?
Yeah, so, oh my god, they caught BBC whatever.
We have good sources. We've had a whistleblower.
Honestly, congratulations. You did a great service to a lot of countries, a lot of great human beings, if you want to know the truth. And exposing what fake news is all about, what BBC did. Nobody would even think a thing like that was done. They actually changed the words coming out of my mouth.
So the BBC has apologised and retracted the report when they say they won't pay any compensation.
But we'll
Is
sue
that
them.
enough?
We'll sue them for anywhere between $1 billion and $5 billion.
Okay, so here's the percent change graph over the last 10 years. So you can see it typically hovers around 1 to 3, 2.5 maybe. During COVID, obviously, super tall jump, but then it stabilized. So this is why I give Biden a lot of credit. Like, all things considered, this is a relatively quick stabilization to the rest of the world. And then we kind of sort of stayed around target range. If you average it out, eventually. Now, we had a big price decrease in March when I think a lot of the tariffs were removed or something. I couldn't even... But we've been slowly rising above target, like, throughout the Trump presidency. So I don't know. This is a worrying trend, to say the least. So if we start in March of a normal year, actually here it's pretty stable in March. Here in March kind of stabilized. I guess might not be cyclical in that sense, but we have been rising. All right. Just be warned. And this isn't the absolute level rising. This is the rate at which the absolute level is rising.
Probably sometime next week.
So you're ready to take?
Well, I think I have to do it. I mean, they've even admitted that they cheated.
Has that?
I mean, not that they couldn't have not done that. They cheated. They changed the words coming out of my mouth. That's worse than what CBS did with Kamala. They changed her answer, but at least they didn't show it, coming out of her mouth.
Do you think it's appropriate that British TV viewers have to pay more than $200 just for the right to watch television? Do you think the license?
Well, I don't know what they do in a place that I like a lot, in general UK, right? But the people of the UK are very angry about what happened, as you can imagine.
The people of the UK are angry about fucking everything. Everything is a national scandal in the UK. I love it. I think it's hilarious. Shout out to the UK. Oh, nothing but love. But like, the things that pass for scandals there are so funny.
Because it shows the BBC is fake news. Of course, you and I knew that for a long time, but we didn't know it was this big.
Have you raised the issue with Sir Keir Starmer?
I have not, but I'll call him. I'm going to call him over the weekend. He actually put a call into me. He's very embarrassed by it. That's, I don't know what percentage is owned by the country, but regardless if it's small or large or nothing, I can say this, the UK is very, very embarrassed by BBC, what they did.
Mr. President, you said that tariffs do not increase prices for consumers, but now you're lowering.
I didn't say they don't. I say they
I do.
may in some cases, but to a large
That's
extent
not
they've
what
been
you
borne
said.
by the country. As an example, we have virtually no inflation, and yet we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars. So we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars. We've used tariffs to stop wars. You look at India and Pakistan, look at so many wars I stopped just by saying I'm going to impose tariffs on your country if you're going to have war.
So if tariffs
in that
are
case,
increasing prices.
yeah, in that case it was nuclear war, and I stopped it by using tariffs. But oftentimes, and to a large extent, the countries themselves pick up the tab, the companies pick up the tab, and I find that based on inflation,
Okay, it's like a tax. Who does that tab get passed on to? The way a tariff works economically is that it decreases the amount of foreign good that consumers buy because they're unwilling to demand as much of a thing at a higher price, which is what you want a tariff to do, right? If you have the world price, that's lower than the domestic price. You put a tariff on to raise the world price so that people demand the world good up until it reaches domestic, and then they buy domestic. So that helps domestic manufacturers, that's true, but overall it creates deadweight loss and impacts the consumer, and prices get passed on to the consumer because that world price that they were demanding a certain level at no longer exists. You can no longer get that.
we have virtually no inflation. When I inherited the country from Sleepy Joe Biden, the inflation, it was the highest inflation in the history of our country, or at least 48 years. bring them down to a new level.
How much of the tab is being picked up by Americans?
I think very little. I mean, I really think very little. If you look at it, and when you add the trillions of dollars that our country is making, when you add the fact that I'll be giving back $2,000 or so to middle-income people, low-income people, everybody but the rich will be giving $2,000 back, and you add that in.
Goodies, handouts. Again, he's rattling keys. Don't buy into this shit.
When you add the fact that our country is extremely rich and we have no wars and we're respected again.
We're going to war with Venezuela. What?
When you add the fact that when China was threatening to us in terms of rare earths, I was able to solve it just by putting tariffs on
Please say
China,
magnets.
and we made a deal a week later. When you add all of the benefits, the single greatest thing we have right now is the use of tariffs, and I use them properly. For years they've been used against us, and I think, whether you call them tariffs or anything else, if you didn't use them, you really would have an unguarded
What else would you call
disaster
them?
on your hands.
Will those $2,000 payments, will that be inflationary? Because previously Republicans have said that sending money to people, like under
Oh,
Biden,
no.
Well, the difference is this is money earned as opposed to money that was made up.
Okay. It's still government revenue going back to the people.
You know, that money was made.
It's going to increase demand without a corresponding increase in supply, meaning the price level is going to increase, right? Is that... Again, if you... you could just draw supply and demand. I know it's not that simplistic overall, but in this case, don't really see how it would get more complex, at least on a broad level.
Like the Inflation Reduction Act, which did not reduce inflation, and it wasn't meant to, and they admitted it was a phony name. But they spent hundreds of billions of dollars on a fake deal called the Inflation Reduction Act. That was made up money. When I pay people $2,000 each for low and moderate income and middle income people, everybody but the rich will get this. That's not made up, that's real money. That comes from other countries, yeah.
Speaking of China, since you made the deal, since you struck the deal with them, has the Chinese agreed to actually purchase any soybeans? Have they locked in any soybean purchases?
Yeah, and they're in the process of doing it. We spoke to them today. They're in the process.
Finally, the soy president. I'm so excited. Never before have you had a president that loves soy. I'm the soy president. Something like that, right?
They're doing not only a little bit, but they'll be doing a lot of soybean purchase.
Do you know when? In the spring?
It's starting. Before that, I think it's starting.
You say
They'll be buying a lot of soybeans, but really, Jennifer, a lot of everything else.
Can you say who you spoke with or who your team spoke with?
Top of the line. Top of the line.
FDA checks, sir. How soon could Americans see those checks? Will that be in time for Christmas? Holiday shopping?
No, not for this year. It'll be next year sometime.
Do you have a time frame?
No, sometime during the year, next year. It's a lot of money, but we've taken in a lot of money from tariffs. The tariffs allow us to give a dividend if we want to do that. Now, we're going to do a dividend, and we're also going to be reducing debt. We have, because of Biden and others, we have $37 trillion in debt. So we're going to be doing a dividend, which people will enjoy and spend and do what they want. But
That would be inflationary, just necessarily so.
we're also going to be reducing debt very
But
substantially.
if the Supreme Court was against you, sir, is there
Well, then I'd have to do something else. We'll have to figure something else. That would be a very sad day for our country. We used, just today, I stopped a war. I won't go into which one, but
Another.
you'll be able to
Yeah,
figure it out.
right.
Cambodia, Thailand?
But that was quick, very smart. Thank you. But just today, I stopped a war by the use of tariffs. Oftentimes, I'm able to do that. And if you think of the cost of war, just forget about debt, which is number one, but the debt within those countries. But that all comes to our, in one form or another, it all comes right back to us. I stopped the war just today through the use of tariffs, the threat of tariffs. If we didn't have that,
like, yeah, the U.S. leaning on countries to make peace is good. It just has to be a sustained and lasting and just peace. Getting peace for the sake of, well, I guess peace for peace sake is still a noble goal. I guess, like, using the example of Ukraine and Russia, you have to make sure that it's a peace that the parties want and that is just to the parties. And acknowledging that sometimes in war there is an aggrieved party. Like, Ukraine was invaded. A just peace truly would be Russia out of all of their territory. But just trying to get a ceasefire, and here, draw the lines here, just stop. That's peace for peace's sake. Which in that instance, I don't think is a good thing. Like, you need something more. You need, like, justice, I suppose. There's an idea I'm getting at that I'm not phrasing too well. Like, trying to rush to peace just to say that you got the deal doesn't create lasting peace, nor does it actually solve anything. It just kind of puts things on hold. Like, if you look at Israel and Palestine right now, there's still bombing campaigns. Like, it's not really a ceasefire insofar as both parties look to calm down for a second, but it doesn't seem like that's holding up too well. Like, it didn't really address any of the issues. Hamas said they weren't going to disarm. He said, oh, we'll make them disarm. But, yeah, that doesn't really do anything. Israel never acknowledged or even said that they would acknowledge Palestine as a state. None of the grievances were addressed in the ceasefire. It's just a ceasefire for ceasefire's sake. Which, again, the party, at least Hamas, didn't really seem too interested in. Israel, obviously, they're still bombing. They don't seem too interested in it, so it doesn't really do much for anybody.
On healthcare subsidies, obviously people also
Yeah, healthcare subsidies is a good question. So, Obamacare, which is the Unaffordable Care Act, it is totally unaffordable. You see the kind of money the insurance companies are making. Hundreds of billions of dollars. Their stock is up over 1,000% over a relatively short period of time. What we're going to be doing, what I'm going to be recommending, not this. Obamacare is a disaster. Far too expensive and lousy health care. We're going to give the money to the people to buy their own health care. And the kind of money that we give to the insurance companies is more than going to take care of it. People are going to be able to buy their own health insurance, and it's going to be great health care, and they're going to get paid by the government. The government will be it will be one of the greatest deals this country's ever made. So
It just shows he's a shit businessman too. Like, if you negotiate as a monolith, as a union, some might say, many people are saying, you have more power in that negotiation. Splitting everyone up individually is like... Alright, so here we go. Imagine the insurance company is a giant gorilla. You got 100 dudes trying to fight it. If they go up one after another, they all lose. If they all go up together, they win. Right? As simple as.
instead of giving it to insurance companies, big, fat, bloated insurance companies, we're giving the money directly to the people.
To give to the insurance companies. Nice.
To buy their own health care.
Oh, come
All
on.
Americans buy it from insurance companies.
Well, then the answer is going to be yes, but they're going to be able to negotiate and it'll be much better deals.
Some may. I mean, they'll be negotiating prices. Really free enterprise. They'll be, you can do it through an insurance company. You can also buy it direct. They have savings accounts. They have a lot of.
By what direct? Your like $300,000 hospital bill? What?
Different ways of buying healthcare.
Another question. You asked for an investigation today into people associated with Epstein.
Yeah.
Like Reid Hoffman, major Democratic donor.
Right.
What impact do you hope that kind of investigation can have on next year?
I don't know, but I heard they are appointing a U.S. attorney, and I hear a really good one to look into it. I hear Southern District is going to be looking at Jay Clayton, and he's a great man, a great attorney, and he's a highly respected, one of the most respected people in the country in terms of law and law enforcement. As you know, he headed up the SEC. He was the head of Sullivan and Cromwell for years.
Oh, now
He's
it
one of
does.
the most respected people in the country. He's been confirmed for the Southern District, and I heard Jay is going to be looking into it. Jay Clayton is a real, he's a real legal talent. And very, very legitimate
Do
person.
you continue to believe that president should be able to order investigations?
Sure, I mean, I'm the chief law enforcement officer of the country. Not that I want to use that.
Allowed to, yes. Improper, absolutely.
But I am considered the chief law enforcement agent in the country, and I'm allowed to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. I had nothing to do with that choice. Just an example that came from Pam Bondi from the DO.
Okay. You're one layer removed, right? Like, he orders Pam Bondi openly on Truth Social. Is it that far of a leap for her to then go and order whatever this is? Like, that's still coming from you, man. Like, come on, dude.
Jay. But you can't pick a better person than Jay Clayton. He's truly one of the most respected people in that world.
Have you ruled out, are you tracking the Georgia RICO case at all? Did you see the news on that today?
Which one?
The Georgia case, the RICO case. Apparently they're continuing with the investigation into you and your allies related to the 2020 election.
Uh-oh.
Not tracking that?
You mean the Fannie Willis guys?
I don't think so.
I can't imagine. I thought that case was over. I was told that case was totally over.
Mr. President, have you ruled out the pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell?
I haven't even thought about it. I mean, I haven't thought about it for months. Maybe I haven't thought about it at all. You're just asking me a
Why
question.
can't you rule it
But I
out?
don't talk about that. I don't rule it in or out. I don't even think about it.
Wait, if he... Is there some rule where if he pardons, she can't, like, testify or something? Is that a thing?
When it was on CBS News, she was talking about how the files should be released. We anticipate that will happen in the House. I know you have public about the investigation today.
I don't care about it, released or not. What
Okay. Talk about a public interest thing. I feel like any normal president in person kind of wants to know about the big pedophile ring, right? Like, this is the conspiracy theory that people have been waiting for forever. But just because it has Trump, people are a little salty on it. I feel like there's, now that the prosecutions are, well, I don't know, are they launching more prosecutions into, like, Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and Peter Thiel and all that? That's the only reason I could think that they would continue holding them, but it does seem like public interest to have it released.
I think you should do, if you're going to do it, then you have to go into Epstein's friends. This Reid Hoffman spent a lot of time on the island. I was never on his island. Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. You're going to have to look into his friends, because, you know, if they're going to do that.
That's you, bud. You hate to break it to you, little bro. You guys were best buds until you got into a spat over stealing girls from Mar-a-Lago. I'd rather think that said it was a real estate competition that led to the spat. I don't know. That's either way.
And I think the perfect guy to do it would be Southern District, somebody like Jay Clayton. I understand. That's
Oh my
his
God!
business.
Why am I so yawny?
You're ordering release of more files.
Does Marjorie Taylor Greene have a point?
Does she have a point?
I know nothing about her.
Bullshit. What is this? Oh my God, this Republican move of... I don't know. Oh, that's a tough question? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know shit. I don't fucking know anything. Don't ask me anything. I don't know anything. What the fuck do you expect from me? I haven't learned a thing in my goddamn life. I can't even see. I can't hear. I don't know anything. Even though I'm on Twitter talking about her, and before this plight took off, I was talking about her. Like, dude,
All the files.
They can have whatever they want. They already do. I think they have 50,000 pages already. Look, this is a Democrat hoax. This is a hoax put out by the Democrat, and a couple of few Republicans have gone along with it because they're weak and ineffective. But this is a Democrat hoax to get away from the fact that they just lost the shutdown and they.
Okay, this is a dual. This is an example of two things can happen at the same time, right? Like, yes, the shutdown ending, that's rough. All right, that's a loss. We'll take that all in the chin. I mean, it's a loss insofar as we didn't get anything back for the deal, but people also realize Republicans are the ones that are fighting against them having health care. I guess there's some optical silver lining there, but yeah, it's rough. But also, the Epstein stuff's been in the zeitgeist well before the shutdown. This is just when it happened to come to a head. Alright? There's no distraction. People just want to press this now that it's the relevant issue. Shutdown came and went. This is it now. This and affordability.
They lost the elections. They lost the big election. To me, in a record number. They lost the popular vote. They lost the swing states. They lost everything. I think it was 312 to 220 something. So this is a way.
Again, very careful statistics. In those swing states, the races were quite close. Like, I don't know what would have needed to happen to have pushed Kamala over that line. I think that was an uphill battle from the start. But it was not a landslide by any means. Like, all the swing states were very close.
Not talking about that. It's a hoax. This is no different than Russia. And it's headed up by Democrats and some very weak Republicans.
I was just wondering if you have a timeline
Very
for
few.
when you might release more of those files.
Which ones?
Democrats to Epstein.
Well, I don't know about those ones. I know nothing about it, but I understand they released like 40 or 50,000 pages already. And nobody. I will say this: if they had anything, they would have used it before the election. Okay.
Then weren't they prosecuting Maxwell? I want to know that if that's like a valid line of defense, I guess.
I can't tell you what they put in since the election, but if they had anything, you don't think they would have used.
Poisoning the well, nice. So the argument, if shit comes out, it's going to be they don't have anything because it would have come out before the election, and anything that is in there, they must have added because they didn't use it during the election. That's going to be the line of attack. Calling it now, lock it in.
Used it before the election, they would have gladly used it before the election.
So speaking of the election,
Jennifer,
well, why were you or why was your team encouraging Congresswoman Boebert and Congresswoman Mace to not pursue?
because we think it's bad to talk about it because it gets away from the subject of how well the Republicans are doing. We have the greatest economy. We have the largest investment ever made in our country's history. We have all of these great things happening. We have very little inflation, whereas he had record-setting, the biggest inflation in history. All of these things are good. And when you talk about the Epstein hoax, what happens is...
Again, it's this strategy of pre-poison the well. It's like you heard a rumor that people might be moving into town, so you poison the water supply well in advance.
You're not talking about how well we've done.
Mr. President, on that subject,
That's the whole purpose behind them. They want to waste people's time, and some of the dumber Republicans like that.
Mr. President, on that subject, are we going to see?
It's mostly Democrats, by the way.
Are we going to see more domestic travel from you as you try to sell that message? Are we going to see some rallies?
Domestic travel?
Yeah.
Well, I want to spend time here. I just got back from a big trip, a very successful trip with China and with, all the countries. I saw many countries over there. We stopped in Malaysia, Japan, South Korea. It was a phenomenal trip. We had a great meeting with President Xi, who's, a great leader, great country, actually, whether you like it or not. And China's a great country. back trillions of dollars in trade and other things.
Yeah, so looking into it, it seems like it was a lot of privacy concerns because there were ongoing records, and when things were wrapped up and not subject to privacy law, they were released. So, yeah, I guess. I mean, maybe they could have foregone some privacy law and rules, but I'm not sure.
But someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, would say you're spending too much time overseas, you're not spending enough time selling your domestic.
So I heard that Marjorie Taylor Greene said, "Oh, gee, I'm spending too much time overseas." So let's say I don't meet with China. You know what's happened right now to Georgia and every other state? They're not working because your magnets and your rare earths would have kicked in, and there wouldn't be a factory in the world that was working. If I didn't have a relationship overseas with China, with Japan, with South Korea, with all of them, Malaysia, I went to Malaysia, but visited many more countries than that. If we didn't do that, if we just stayed right here, you would right now have no factory anywhere in the world that would be working because of rare earth with China. Not only that, we made a deal with China. We take in billions and billions of dollars. We made a deal with Japan. We take in billions of dollars. We made a deal with South Korea.
Double check on this one too.
Billions and billions of dollars. If I would stay home, none of that would be happening. And by the way, I stay home 98% of the time. The last thing I want to do is travel 22 hours in an airplane, as nice as this plane is. So, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is not anyway. I mean, she is a very different thinking than I have. Something happened to her over the last period of a month or two where she changed, I think, politically. I think that her constituents aren't going to be happy. Already, I have people calling me. They want to challenge her to a race in her district in Georgia. And, you know, that's too bad. She's lost a wonderful conservative reputation. But when she says, don't go overseas, if I didn't go overseas, we might be in a war right now with China.
Will you
This is on nuclear testing, sir. On nuclear testing, sir. Are you receiving any meetings about
We're going to have
concerns about
nuclear testing because other people test. We have other countries that test. We have more nuclear weapons than any other country. I'm the one that renovated them and built some, and I hated to do it, but I had no choice because they have it. We have more. Russia's second, and China is a distant third, but within 4 or 5 years, they're going to be up with us.
Okay, so also, just really quick on rare earths, it seems like, from a cursory glance, that we do have the capability to mine rare earths, but our processing facilities are a little bit slow. It does seem like we have some under development right now, so the bottleneck really exists in our capacity to process rather than mine. So it seems like this deal with China isn't as life or death as it seems. That would be 13, 9 plus 4.
What I would like to do is I would like to go denuclearization. In other words, where we have a meeting primarily of the top 3 to cut back on nuclear weapons. That would be a great thing.
How soon can the test take place, though?
Pretty soon.
China, Russia, US?
We're number 1, Russia's number 2, China's number 3. They're catching up. They're quite a bit distant from us right now, but they'll catch us in 4 or 5 years. But I think the best thing would be if we denuclearize.
Mr. President, could you tell us why you needed to get an MRI? I understand that the results were good, but what was it for?
Because it's part of my physical. Getting
Are MRIs part of normal physicals?
an MRI is very standard. Where you think I shouldn't have it, other people
No,
get it.
but typically an MRI
I had an
is
MRI.
specific cardiovascular
Here's what the
standard.
story is. I had an MRI. The doctor said it was the best result he has ever seen as a doctor. That's it. But I had an MRI as part of my...
Is this like the guy's first year? Also, like, how narcissistic do you have to be? Like, obviously he's not in the best shape. Even if he was like perfectly fit, He's just an older guy. He's old. What? Like, obviously wouldn't be the best result you've ever seen unless they're screening for something that's pretty rough. I am very curious to see what they're actually testing for. Because I know he framed that dementia test as an IQ test. Do you not get an MRI when your leg hurts a little bit? True.
Standard yearly, or I think they do it every 2 years, but I have the physical every year, and the result was outstanding.
Is it your brain or your heart?
I have no idea what they analyzed, but whatever they analyzed it well, and they said that I had as good a result as they've ever seen. Now, the other thing I took, as you know, very advanced test.
Just for the record. Here's that test. Okay? Map 1A, 2B, 3C, etc. Copy a 3D drawing. Draw a clock that tells a time. Name the animals. Read a list of words. 5 words if the subject can repeat them. Read a list of digits. Read them forward. And 3 digits backwards. Like, oh god. I think my knife hit the Steam market. Fuck. So, subtracting by 7, starting at 60. Like, this is the advanced test. Repeat. The child walked his dog in the park after midnight. Oh, shit. Like... yeah. Very, very advanced.
On mental acuity, because I think a president should have to do that. And as you probably heard, I aced it. I got a perfect score. I got the highest score. I got a perfect score. And the only reason I tell you that is it's one subject, unlike Biden and others, that you can take off your plate.
A question on nuclear testing. Just being very specific. Are you saying you want to explode a warhead?
I don't want to tell you about that, but we will do nuclear testing like other countries do. We have more nuclear weapons than any other country, and we have to test.
Other countries are not exploding warheads.
In the last election, do you think you'll get on the road for the next election?
Oh yeah, I'll be helping people.
Okay.
I'll be on the road helping people.
Would you be
It's very important. The midterms are very important. And again, I think we should terminate the filibuster. Republicans should terminate the filibuster. The Democrats would do it immediately if they ever got power. And without Manchin and Sinema, they would have done it the best.
Would you be open to endorsing someone primarying Marjorie Taylor Greene given her latest statements?
Well, it depends on who runs against her. I mean, I'm no longer much of a fan because I disagree with her policy. When she said that, you know, going to foreign countries, bringing back trillions of dollars is not important. Do you think I want to go and be on an airplane for 20 hours? Some of you were with me. 20.
Sorry, dude. That's how, like, that's a major faction of your fan base of MAGA, like the America-only type policy. That is a pretty significant part. So you're gonna choose the like semi-protectionist global sphere of influence warmonger. It's so bizarre.
2 hours to be exact, travel and then get off and make a speech and get people to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in our country. I'd rather do it without having to go, but if you didn't go, you wouldn't be able to have that kind of result. As an example, Malaysia, if you look at Thailand, I stopped the war in Thailand and Cambodia. If I didn't go to that region, I probably wouldn't have been able to stop that war. That war would have been very costly in terms of lives, but even costly in terms of us.
Are you meeting with Indiana lawmakers next week? Are you meeting with lawmakers from Indiana next week on
Not that I know of, I might be, I don't know. They will.
So Indiana lawmakers said that they're not going to do this redistricting thing for him, and he is quite mad.
I guess they're making a decision as to whether or not they want to gain for the Republican Party one or two more. By the way, I will say this. I heard one or two more seats. I heard that a big lawsuit will be taking place, concerning the California hoax, where they're trying to...
It's like, how is he able to go and say, Indiana, I'm so pissed you didn't redistrict, Texas, keep redistricting, but California, how dare you?
Get 5 more seats. And California is one of the most dishonest...
He's heard of everything, but he ain't
They
seen
send
shit.
out
True.
Tens of millions of ballots to people all over the place. Many of those people get 2 and 3 ballots, and they come back. California is a disgrace on voting, and they're doing something that is very illegal. So we are or will be suing California on the 5 seats.
The Department of Justice will be?
The Department of Justice, yes.
You're
Being headed by the Department of Justice.
You're meeting with the Saudi Crown Prince next week.
More than meeting, we're honoring Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince.
What are your goals?
Sure, Marjorie Taylor Greene's gonna love that.
F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia. Are you going to do that?
Well, they want to buy a lot of jets. We make the best jets. We make the best missiles. You saw that when we took out the nuclear
So why could we give them to Saudi Arabia but not, I don't know, Ukraine?
capability of Iran. No, you know, for 22 years they wanted to do that. No president had the guts to do it. We did it, and Iran is a different place. By the way, Iran wants to negotiate a deal too. Everybody wants to negotiate with us now. If we didn't have military strength, if we didn't rebuild our military...
I mean, Ukraine, fucking so much credit to them. They were like, all right, you're not going to give us missiles? Fuck it, we're making our own. And now the Flamingo missiles are ready. And, like, there's, like, oil plants being struck deep, deep in Russia. It's wild. Dude, those Ukrainians, they can fucking build. That is wild. They became the leader in drone warfare, like, overnight. They're building their own cruise missiles. Like, dude, so respectable.
My first term, and now we continue to do it. Biden dissipated it by giving a chunk to the Taliban. Not a good idea.
So, I'm sorry.
But you know what? The good news is it was a lot.
The Ukrainian army is now also the greatest anti-oil activist group.
But
True.
relatively very little.
So, yes to the jets, but you're not sure yet?
I'm looking at that. They've asked me to look at it. They want to buy a lot of 35, but they want to buy actually more than that fighter jets. Yeah.
Will the Abraham Accords be a part of that conversation? Perhaps getting the Abraham Accords, getting Saudi Arabia.
The Abraham Accords will be a part. We're going to be discussing. I hope that Saudi Arabia will be going into the Abraham Accords fairly shortly. We've had tremendous interest in the Abraham Accords since we put Iran out of business. Okay? Thank you much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, fun stuff. Christ. Yeah, no shot here. Let's do MTG. Why not?
Interview since the president cut ties. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, thank you so much for being here. As you just heard, and I know you saw, the president says he's withdrawing support for you, encouraging primary challengers. You were one of his biggest supporters. What do you think happened?
Dude, the video of her at Biden's State of the Union, I'll find that.
Well, Dana, thank you for having me on, and that is true. I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars.
Members of Congress. I'm told my predecessor called members of Congress in the Senate to demand they block the bill. He feels political win. He viewed it as a political win for me and a political loser for him. It's not about him. It's not about me.
Guy.
I'd be a winner. Not really. Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look, if we change the dynamic at the border, people pay these smugglers $8,000 to get across the border because they know if they get by and let into the country, it's 6 to 8 years before they have a hearing. And it's worth it taking the chance of the $8,000. But if it's only 6 weeks, the idea is it's highly unlikely that people will pay that money and come all that way, knowing that they'll be able to be kicked out quickly.
They're the same person with a different width slider.
I would respectfully suggest my Republican friends owe it to the American people, get this bill done. We need to act now.
That's a crazy statement. Oh my God.
Helping him get elected. And I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration. And I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country, and that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country.
Sorry, who is this?
Split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, you know, I stand with these women. I stand with rape
Who is shocked to be like
victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations, and I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files, and I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong. And so I'm standing with the women, and I will continue to do my small part to get the files released.
You said on X yesterday, quote, "It's astonishing really how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, and that it really makes you wonder what is in those files." Are you suggesting there's something in the Epstein files that President Trump does not want Americans to see?
She's not going to answer this, is she?
Well, I think that's the part that has so many people confused, is that the women themselves that I have talked to have over and over again said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Quite a few of them even told me they voted for him. And those are the women I would like to see in the Oval Office with support. I would like to see all of the women there with support. I have no...
Like, again, because there's a few people that say that he hasn't done anything to them, or they didn't see anything, doesn't mean he didn't do anything. It doesn't mean he didn't know about the abuse that was happening, all right? There's not a single condition that makes all of this very bad to, you know, that are, well, it's crazy that our president's even fucking implicated here, but that's a different thing. It's obviously the worst if he was participating in it, but it's also bad if he knew about it and didn't do anything. Like, he didn't have to participate for it to be a bad thing and a bad look on, or immoral action on his part, or inaction, I should say.
idea what's in the files. I can't even guess, but that is the questions everyone is asking, is why fight this so hard?
Well, before this blow up, you sort of alluded to this just now. You said you were confident the president wouldn't be implicated. Are you still confident of that?
I'm listening to the women. Those are the ones that are saying that he did nothing wrong. Virginia Giuffre even said
That's
under
not an
oath
answer.
that Donald Trump did nothing wrong, and she wrote it in her book. So I'm continuing to listening to the women, and I think their voices should be the loudest.
The
Not an
president
answer.
said the
Not
reason
gonna push her
that
on
you
that?
have been
Okay.
critical of him
Why
is
not?
not necessarily Epstein, but because he pushed you not to run for the Senate or for governor in Georgia. How and when did he do that?
Well, that is absolutely not true. Actually, I never had a conversation at all with the president about running for Senate or running for Georgia. And those were decisions I came to on my own, that I don't want to have anything to do with the Senate. I think the past 2 months of the government shutdown should have shown America exactly why I would never want to be there. I think it's a very broken institution that serves the uniparty and doesn't serve the American people and how they vote. And I decided that I didn't want to run for governor this cycle either. I very much want to do the job that I'm in. Everyone else says I'm running for something, but all I want to do is serve Georgia's 14th district, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
So
Is it true, though? I thought that she had hinted at Senate run or something bigger and was explicitly told, don't do that, by Trump.
said it pretty explicitly. Are you saying he's lying, or did he at least get that message to somebody on your political
Thank you. Push a little bit. I appreciate that. Thank you.
team instead?
I'm not sure. But I don't. That is untrue. What he said. I don't know if he's being fed wrong information. I honestly have no idea in that area, but it is absolutely factually not true. Nor have I called him, and White House logs would prove that. His own cell phone records would prove it. I have not been calling the president, but I did post messages that I had sent to him, and that was to protect,
This is a Truth Social from Trump. Wacky Marjorie Trader Brown. Remember, green turns to brown where Ra is involved because explaining your joke means it was really good. Is working overtime to try and portray herself as a victim when in actuality she's the cause of all her own problems. The fact is, nobody cares about this traitor to our country. And then we have an AI image. I have never met a Trump voter that regrets their vote. Sure. Oh my god. The more rhinos getting exposed. Dude, Marjorie Taylor Greene was your biggest fan. You spurned that. This is the Trump I like to see, taking no BS from anybody. Yo, they I know this is True Social, so this is the worst of the worst, but oh, Donald, you're turning your base against you. Do you just not care anymore? I know you love this country and I would choose you 1,000 times a day, 10,000 times on Sunday, but calm on now. The childish bickering needs to stop. Isn't that what people voted for him for in 2016? Oh, he's the funny guy. He's not a politician. He calls people funny names. This kind of crap is embarrassing. Please focus on America first. Stop focusing on stomping with Republicans. It's called infighting, Mr. President. We are better than that. Oh. And everyone's saying, not losing his base. We love his post. Oh my god. I can't even tell what percent of this is satire versus real.
Get involved. This is important. The American people want the Epstein files released. And, I've stood with the president. I have disagreed with him at times, Dana. And I'm allowed to do that. I think that's the most important thing we can do as Americans. And I'm urging my party. I've been putting massive pressure on my party and our speaker to pass the agenda that the American people vote for. That's the agenda that I fought for. Those are the campaign promises I made. And I can disagree with the president at times, particularly this past Monday on the Marines' 250th anniversary, when he honored the new Syrian president, who is an al-Qaeda terrorist.
Okay. So the real split is coming down between protectionism versus hyper-isolationism. The reality is we deal with people that we fought against pretty regularly. Like, we're pretty on very good terms with Vietnam right now. It's still the country we kind of sort of lost to. I don't see why we can't give this Syrian president a chance in a lot of these people's eyes. Like, I'm more on Trump's side on this one. I mean, I'm doing it on Veterans Day. You can make as much of a stink about that as you want. I would say that that's probably just a coincidence. Like, I don't know. I think we should be supporting progress in the Middle East, not direct intervention, obviously, but lifting sanctions to give Syria a chance. Again, I think that's a great thing. I think, we don't, prevent the German chancellor from coming to the U.S. And we didn't. Like, how soon after World War II were we on good terms with Germany again?
And was wanted by our government for years with a $10 million bounty up until March of this year. I very much am against that. I think that was very hurtful to the great men and women who served over in the Middle East and were sent there, and many of them that were killed.
But Germany is white, so it's different. Oh, my bad.
And injured and live with PTSD to this day from fighting al-Qaeda. So there's things I disagree with, and I'm allowed to do so.
Well, do you think he represents the MAGA movement as he once did?
Well, what the American people voted for with MAGA was to put the American people first and stop sending foreign aid and stop being involved in foreign wars. They very much deserve to be put first. Cost of living is far too high. Health insurance is completely out of control. And those are two issues I have been very vocal on for months and months now, long before Republicans were shocked when those big losses came on this past Tuesday's election. So I think that the American people deserve to be put first. That's what Make America Great Again meant to me. And I think that President Trump can do that if he refocuses his effort. And I think that's what I want to see. I think that's what the country wants to see. Even if he's attacking me, I do want him to be successful for the American people.
So sounds like you're saying that he is not representing the MAGA movement that he started right now.
I can say that promoting H-1B visas to...
That's a very soft... That's not even a soft... That's a medium. As far as politicking goes, that's a medium disavowal of Trump.
To replace American jobs. Bringing in 600,000 Chinese students to replace American students' opportunities in American colleges and universities. Those are not America First positions. And continuing to really travel all over the world doesn't help Americans back at home. I really, and I said this to him, and I will say it out loud, I would love to see Air Force One be parked and stay home, and there be nothing but a constant focus in the White House on a domestic agenda that helps the American people once and for all.
Congresswoman, you posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
What? How is this going to go? Because that's true. She was kind of on the more crazy side of that.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. And it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie.
Nice of her to finally disavow it, but again, like a lot of things, it's too little too late. Like, again, as nice as all of this sounds, it's not... These are not people we want to get in bed with, all right? These are not people that have the same goal in mind of a liberal society with good social safety nets. That's not the goal here. This is hyper-isolationism, like ultra xenophobic. It's not, we are not aligned on mission. We are aligned on the Epstein files. All right. Like, it's very narrow. Our scope has to be very narrow for what we make common cause on.
Kirk was assassinated is that I'm only responsible for myself and my...
Because again, this realization didn't come with the Minnesota lawmakers. It didn't come with, like, the governor being almost assassinated. Any other political violence. J6 even. It only came now. Which is, again, too little too late.
My own words and actions. And I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another.
So, not that she shouldn't be disavowing it. This is, like, good. We just have to temper the amount of credit we give.
And we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have differences. Yeah. And we need to be able to respect each other with our disagreements.
So just to put a button on this, you regret the things that you have said and posted in the past, the Facebook post that was taken down of you in 2020 holding a gun alongside the Squad, encouraging people to go on the offense against the socialists, liking a tweet of somebody calling for the execution of Nancy Pelosi and former President Obama. Just examples.
just throwing that out there. Just examples. Just examples. Just tossing, throwing, just saying.
Well, Dana, as you know, and many people know, I addressed that back in 2021. And of course, I never want to cause any harm or anything bad for anyone. So that was addressed back then, and I very much stand by my words I said then, and I stand by my words today. I think America needs to come together and end.
Also, what is this political move? Like, she just apologized. Could she not apologize again? Like, I see this a lot from politicians of, I've already covered this, I've already talked about this. Like, zero repeating of an apology or recognizing of a mistake. Is it just to keep it out of the zeitgeist, or to brush it up, like sweep it, to say, I've already talked about this, don't focus on this at all? I don't know. I gotta get up on my my real politicking.
All the toxic, dangerous rhetoric and divide. And I'm leading the way with my own example, and I hope that President Trump can do the same.
Okay, so on that, I do want to ask you about something you posted just yesterday on X. You questioned who and what country is putting so much pressure on Trump to keep the Epstein files hidden. And you included a picture about donations from pro-Israel lobbying group AIPAC. What are you trying to say there?
Well, I think it's the question that many Americans are asking, especially when we saw information recently come out in these emails that the Oversight Committee that I serve on has released. And we saw Jeffrey Epstein with ties to Ehud Barak. We saw him making business deals with them, also business deals that involved the Israeli government, and seems to have led into their intel agencies. And I think the right question is to ask is, was Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel? And I'm proud to say I don't take money from AIPAC. I don't take money from any special group of people. I'm just representing my district and the American people. And so that's what I was referring to.
I just want to be clear. Are you saying Israel is pushing the President of the United States to cover up the Epstein files? And what evidence do you have that that is the case?
No, I simply... No.
Oh no, we're ending the era of I'm just going to make these vague, semi-broad claims that you can kind of interpret what you want from them, but I'm also kind of dog whistling.
Oh, I simply...
Hopefully, it's the end of that. This is the start of some pushback on be specific about your claim. Don't jack off, just ask questions. Actually make a statement.
No, I simply just asked out loud.
Right? This is jacking off. JAQ, not JQ, JAQ.
Is there a foreign government? It could be any foreign government, but is a foreign government pushing to keep this covered up? Because people just don't understand the big fight against.
Well, you had AIPAC up there. It was pretty clear which government you were talking about.
That I'm questioning that government in particular and questioning any other foreign government.
Okay, when you're talking about lowering the rhetoric, which is important for everybody to hear from you and all of our elected officials, but there is some concern, a lot of concern among Republicans about the rise of anti-Semitic hard-right figures in your movement, especially after...
the Fuentes question. Oh my God, dude! Is Fuentes gonna be like a presidential candidate at some point? I saw odds on Polymarket for that.
Tucker Carlson hosted white nationalist Nick Fuentes on his podcast. Didn't question Fuentes about his vile language or views.
Yeah, because Tucker agrees with it. Wait, sorry, is this not? I thought this was the understanding that everyone had, that Tucker is on his white nationalist grind set right now.
You did speak at a conference hosted by Fuentes back in 2022. You were criticized, and you said then that you didn't know about his views. Well, Fuentes talked to Carlson about that in the interview. Listen to what he said. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, I defend every single person's free speech rights. I think that's incredibly important. So I don't apologize for that, and I don't believe in canceling people. And I think it's important for people like Tucker Carlson and yourself to interview everyone. I don't believe in trying to cancel someone by refusing to interview them and question them. And I did speak at his conference back in 2022. However, I don't know Nick Fuentes. He's someone I've never exchanged text messages with or phone calls, but I did speak at his conference. That was the first time I had met him that day, and that was it. But I did watch the interview. I watched the full interview with Tucker, and I admire him for interviewing many people as well as exposing a lot of powerful information.
I hear what you're saying.
He does on his show.
I hear what you're saying about free speech. I mean, count me as guilty as a proponent of free speech. There's free speech, and then there is hate speech. And this is a man invited on a really prominent conservative show who said, even during that interview, he had a problem with, quote, organized Jewry, and he wasn't challenged on it. In the past, he has denied the Holocaust, called Adolf Hitler effing cool, talked about the fact that he thought Jim Crow was just fine, and on and on. So again, there's free speech, and then
like this is one. I'm just saying this is one pretty major part of the formerly MAGA movement is the hyper-nationalism. Alright, this is part of the monster that's been created.
And there's just hateful language and sentiments.
Well, Dana, again, I told you on this interview that I'm committed to ending the toxic politics, and I think I don't want to have anything to do with it. You should have Nick Fuentes on your show, and you could ask him questions about that. I myself am not anti-Semitic. I have never criticized the Jewish people or said anything about them in particular. I am critical of the government of Israel.
Of what? What was that Freudian slip there?
About them in particular. I am critical of the government of Israel, and I can criticize any government I want to in the entire world as well as our own. And a lot of the times I am criticizing our own government for failing the American people. And I think that needs to be the focus, and that's the most important thing people care about, is being able to afford groceries, housing, health insurance, and having a good quality of life.
Yeah, and I hear you saying you're not anti-Semitic, and you've said it before, and you know, some of the posts that you have put up, which you have apologized for, certainly have tropes in them that have been used historically against Jews. But I do want to end this conversation with a question to you, and that is, do you see a situation where you and President Trump can make up? And if not, do you think you have a future in the GOP?
Well, I certainly hope that we can make up. And there's, you know, again, I can only speak for myself. I'm a Christian, and one of the most important parts of our faith is forgiveness. And that's something I'm committed.
Yeah, right. I mean, yes, that is a core tenet of Christianity. If that's the case, then you motherfuckers are not Christians at all.
To. That's why I can easily come on your show that is watched all over the world, and I can say things I'm sorry for, and I can try to set an example of how I think we should move forward as Americans. And so, of course, on my end, I believe in that, and I certainly hope to see that happen.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, I appreciate you coming on this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dana.
Jesus. Dude, she's always a treasure to listen to. Do I have... Yeah, I can't be fucked. Anything crazy on Truth before I go? Sorry, that tweet is crazy. I will be strongly endorsing against any state senator or House member from the great state of Indiana that votes against the Republican. Or sorry, endorsing against any state senator or House member who votes against the Republican Party by not allowing for redistricting for congressional seats in the U.S. representative, as every other state in our nation is doing. Democrats trying to steal our seats everywhere. Okay, yeah, bud. Bro, what the fuck? What is this? This is retweeted by the fucking president. What in the world, man? Oh my god. I love the ads on True Social too. A cowboy in a golden jacket. Got a little drama down there. Or got a little down there drama. We've got you covered. Oh god. Okay, now Trump's signaling to Pam Bondi again. So this is on the undercover agents that were there after the violence started. Christopher Wray testified before Congress they did not place FBI agents in the crowd on J6. And then, dear Pam Bondi, for the love of God, just arrest somebody, and then Trump retweets it. So, signaling to Pam Bondi into his base to put pressure on Pam Bondi to do something. Oh my God. Dude, his base hates Pam Bondi. Just fun fact. Because she's not arresting enough people or not going hard enough in the prosecutions. I actually don't know why. I guess maybe she actually does have some standard. That doesn't feel right to me, but I don't know.
The real thing that is going to happen that is going to give Americans real purchasing power increases. It's going to be through growth. We passed the one big, beautiful bill. I am also the IRS commissioner, and I can see that working Americans, thanks to the president living up to his campaign promises, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, deductibility of auto loans. If you buy an American car, there are going to be substantial refunds.
As Trump said, these are goodies. He literally called them goodies.
In the first quarter of 26, working Americans will change their withholdings, and they will get a bump up in their real incomes. So I would...
That's if you're a net taxpayer, too.
Expect in the first 2 quarters, we are going to see the inflation curve bend down and the real income curve substantially accelerate. And when those 2 lines cross, Americans are going to feel it. But Maria, I will tell you what we're not going to do. What we're not going to do is tell the American people that they don't know how they're feeling.
That's literally what Trump is doing. I don't want to hear about affordability. Don't you know that I got eggs and beef is coming down and things are way better. Walmart, guys, Walmart.
Which is what the Biden administration did. They said it was a vibe session. You don't know how good you have it. And we are working every day to get these prices down.
Okay. Nice. Glad to know we've got. What is this shit?
For you. This sounds insane for me even to ask this, but do you think the American media really doesn't even want a peace deal because they've seen they've been so critical of you every step of the way as you lead the charge for peace?
It's an amazing phenomenon. I said that if in the settlement you got Moscow, St. Petersburg, and thousands of miles around them, they would say I made a bad deal. The level of hatred and animosity is incredible. Not with all. I mean, we have great people up here. We also have terrible people up there that I think are told what to say. But, okay.
Glad that got reposted by the president, by the way. Just... Okay. Shitting on Gavin Newsom. Okay. Just insane-o shit. I'm gonna go. Have a good one, y'all. This is actually rotting my brain.